hose. All right, so I think we're gonna tie up some damselflies tonight. I'm gonna go do some fishing tomorrow. Some of our still water lakes are opening up. And I think damselflies will be on the menu. All right, so we got a size 12 jig hook in here, and that's a 2.8 millimeter tungsten slotted bead on there in black. And we're just gonna build a really simple damselfly. Could be a leech, I guess, too. It's gonna be that simple that it could be whatever you want it to be. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, just tying some flies. What are you doing? All right, so bead, I'm gonna sneak in some little mono eyes right behind this bead. I don't know. This is probably an unnecessary step if you don't have them. Doesn't really matter. I would say this is what I would consider a guide fly, just because it's pretty easy to tie, nothing fancy, but it'll probably get the job done. I'm not really sure yet, I haven't tried it, but I would assume it would get the job done. It's got all the right elements. Hello, Susanna. Hello, eliminated U-bot. I don't know. Sounds like a bot name if I ever heard one. I'm just making flies for fishing with. All right, so I don't know if you can see that. You could probably see that pretty good. We got our little weight there, some eyes on there. Damselflies are pretty simple looking little flies, but they swim a lot. They wiggle a lot in the water if you've ever seen one swim. So this one I'm doing in a brown color. I'll probably do some olive as well. So for the tail, we just want a little bit of marabou. That's probably even too much. We want about half that. Yeah, now we got tail. I don't know if you've ever seen a damselfly or the nymph. This is like what a dragonfly kind of looks like before it flies, what it looks like in the water. Let's see. I was thinking about making this more complicated than it needs to be, but I think I'll just keep it simple. I think it's just the evolution. When you fly fish, you eventually start tying your own flies. Not everyone does, but it's just a way to get a little more personal with the sport, I guess. Let's see, I think we can just do dubbing there, but I do want, I'll throw in some wire. Nice, glad to hear it, Dale. What's up, Wilson? All right, so I'm gonna attach a little wire here. This is just, I don't know, for a little added weight. We'll add a little flash and some segmentation to the body. Nice. That's all you really need. I try to keep my stuff pretty simple. Every once in a while I tie something a little more gaudy and involved, but this one's gonna be, you'll see there's not much to it. Appreciate the sub, Dale. Yeah, we're making a fly. Nice. All the way from the UK. What are you fishing for with your flies over there, Dale? Please tell me carp. I'm a big fan of carp. That's what I'm tying these damsel flies for mainly. Pike, that's a good answer too. I haven't done a lot of perch fishing, but I have done some pike fishing. Actually, the place I'm gonna go fish tomorrow has pike and carp. Nice walleye fishing. Dope. Carp on a fly rod are a lot of fun. All right, so that's pretty much it with this. I'm gonna add a little more dubbing in front of the eyes. I'm gonna get you guys just a little closer to this. Is that too close? There we go, little damsel boy. Pretty simple, but it should get the job done. Just thinking I might do some olive too and make these a little more, I have this monofilament that's green, chartreuse, and then I'm gonna make those green, everything's green. So we'll do a green one. That works too, man. You don't have to have a fly rod. Although I do recommend trying one out if you never have. I think the fight on a fly rod's pretty fun. All right, let's see. We're gonna change up colors now. Excuse me. I hear that, man. All right. Doing the same thing here again. What up, Charlie? Welcome. Thank you. All right, we're gonna do this one in a green. I need to grab one thing real quick. Although I don't know if I unpacked it from my last fishing trip, so we might have to pass on that idea. Yeah, all right, we're sticking with the black eyes if I have any left. I thought I had this like amnesia monofilament. It's this chartreuse monofilament, but I was just using it on my last fishing trip. And I guess I didn't unpack it from my fishing bag, and that's not in my tying room right now, so black eyes it is. But same idea on this one, we're just changing the thread color, changing the marabou color. Maybe we'll throw some more flash in here. Well, you could get it for me. That would be nice. Hello, Lee.
I just noticed that today.
Have no fear, the chartreuse line is on its way. Delivery service. But it's too late for this bug. We're sticking with the black on this one. Thank you, babe. That's what I was looking for. It was in the wife's fishing bag. So I'm just prepping this. This is just a marabou feather, and I don't want this part because it's really squared off. So I cut this part out, and then I can take this. Looks a little less squared off, more sparse too. And it'll look real nice when it's wet. Lee, I'm making damselfly nymphs tonight. For either trout or carp. I think these hooks will hold up to a carp. Definitely for a trout. I had a lot of last spring and into the summer, had a lot of luck on damselfly nymphs. Specifically this olive color. And I don't really like that tail though. We're gonna do that again. Trout aren't too picky. It's more about, I think, presentation over pattern, Dale. Do you not have any trout near you in the UK? Trout streams? And honestly, I think trout are kind of overhyped a little bit. When you get to catch other species out there that put up a little more fight than a trout, sure, they might not be as pretty, but I don't know. For me, it's about seeing my backing and feeling like I'm gonna lose the fish and being worried that I'm gonna lose the fish. That's like part of the fun for me. And trout don't do that very often. Pike, though, on the other hand, I like a big pike is a lot of fun. But there are just a lot of trout where I live, so that's predominantly what I'm fishing for. I like that tail a little better. Not that that other one wouldn't have worked, it's just, I don't know, you want to have confidence in your flies, especially when you're tying them. Let's do something a little different with this one. We're still gonna do the wire. Well, if I know, I don't know where I put it. There it is. Now this one I'm gonna put this little, I don't know, it's like some sort of silicone skin of some sort. Just gonna cut a little strip of it. I didn't really cut that as thin as I wanted to, but I think this is gonna work. Yeah. That's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of palmer this thing up and around. Oh. Oh. Okay. Something like that. And now this probably, I took off my black shirt because I thought I was going to be doing dark colors and that it would show up better on a light shirt. And now I feel like this doesn't show up super well, but whatever. I think you guys get the point. I think you probably could fish a damselfly for bass. I'm not sure that they eat them or that they really go after forage that small. Maybe you could tie it a little bigger, but probably. I don't see why not. I don't get to fish for a lot of bass where I'm at either. Lee, dude, Pyramid was dope. We were out there for a little longer than we planned because we had a battery die on the ambulance and we were kind of stranded for a day. But other than that, it was a really good trip. We caught some nice fish. Willow's barking at something out there. That's crazy. Probably just a dog walking by, or the bears are already awake. It was like, what, 60 something degrees today. Yeah, it wasn't that big a deal though. We had a guy bring out a battery and really just pretty much had to pay for the cost of the battery because we have AAA, so we got reimbursed for the cost of the guy bringing the battery out, which was great. It was time anyways. will have a video coming out soon. I just posted a video we just got back from the Bahamas, like right before we went to Pyramid Lake. And so I didn't get to do any editing on that footage. But I did that. I just posted the Bahamas video. So I'm going to start looking at the Pyramid Lake footage now. And I think we got some pretty dope footage. We had a really good time, that's for sure. All right, well, that's like my green version. I just put a little dubbing in there. I really, like I said, these mono eyes are probably not necessary. Not necessary. You could just whip one of these up and it would catch fish, I'm sure. Probably lots of species. And I think I'm going to do a couple in black too tonight, because I think that could play as like a leech. I'm very much about like silhouettes anyways. I don't think exact color matters too much, so black could even still be a damselfly. But anyways. So brown one, olive one. Let's do a black one while we're talking about it, huh? I'm just gonna stick with the brown thread because I'm too lazy to switch to black right now, and I really don't think that matters. Probably not even gonna see it. I haven't really. I tried one time, I guess, and I wouldn't really say that I tried. I went to a place the closest place to me that has walleye, and I don't think they're even that big, but I think they have a decent population of walleye in this reservoir. And we went down there early spring last year. I think it was last year. And one of our dogs, who's no longer with us, wasn't doing too well at the time. So we were kind of just looking for like an easy trip. And we drove to this reservoir and camped there. And there are walleye in there, and so we were planning on fishing for him, and he just really wasn't very mobile, so we didn't go very far from where we were camped and didn't really try too hard for walleye. But yeah, I think I just had like some clousers and deceivers and woolly buggers and stuff like that ready to go for that trip. But I don't think there's I think crawfish patterns would work well too. Big crawfish streamers. The thing with them, I think, is there's not much time that they're shallow enough to catch on a fly. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you're fishing for them. But in the limited research I did on them, I found that I think like early spring is a good time to go for them. They're a little more shallow and accessible on a fly. And yeah, just kind of general smaller single hook streamer patterns seem like they would work. Oh man, I almost forgot my eyes that I said don't even matter. Looks like I only have one pair of them anyways. Oh, Morgan just brought me this. Let's just use this. This should work. I think this is gonna work. That's not really making as big of eyes as I would want. Oh. Hmm. I don't know. This isn't working out quite like I wanted it to. We're gonna try and get these a little more melted down. Let's see. You see that? Those they probably blend in with my shirt pretty well. Man, I'm a little, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I was about to say I'm a little out of practice, and as I was about to say that, I freaking realized I forgot to bring this wire back forward. It's crazy though. We've been back from Pyramid for like a week and a half almost now. And we were just talking about how we haven't fished, and that's wild to us that we haven't fished in a week and a half. And I guess I haven't tied any flies in even longer because I didn't tie any flies since before we left, which was like another 2 weeks before that. So it's been damn near a month since I've tied a fly. But anyway, anywho, we're doing the thing. I'm tying flies tonight, and we're going fishing tomorrow. Nice. Hello to Kedra, I want to say, in Mississippi. Thanks for watching. All right. Little damselfly. I want this one a little more messy. I'm hoping to throw these at some carp or trout tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna do one a little more. This one's actually gonna be on a carp hook. I think the hook I was just tying on is very similar to a carp hook. This is a size 10 fulling mill carp specific hook. Can you even see this? There we go. So this is a size 10 carp specific hook. The last one I just tied on was this Jig Force short, size 12. But really, like the gap and the hook size are pretty similar. The difference is this is like a straight shank and not jig, straight eye. So this one's not jigged, but we're still gonna make it flip and ride hook point up. I guess the reasoning I'm doing that and tying on this hook versus that other one is because this is more of, I think, what a fly I would strip, and the other ones I'll probably fish underneath an indicator of some sort, whether it's a big foam dry fly or just an indicator of some sort. Last year I was using like New Zealand style indicators for these carp because I wanted to sight fish them, but I wanted to suspend the fly in a zone that I know that they're kind of cruising at. And if you're stripping, it was too much movement, so I found I needed to use an indicator. But it was still like sight fishing. It wasn't just using a bobber and throwing something out there and hoping, you're putting it out in front of the fish. But just using that indicator to suspend it at the correct level. So anyways, but there are times that you see these fish also cruising and tailing essentially, and that's when you would want a fly that lays on the bottom a little more. That's too big. What I'm doing here is just putting some extra weight, making a kickstand. This is a move that I saw another tire do. He calls it a kickstand. Daryl Inkins, I don't know what his last name is. I've seen it listed both ways. Anyways, he's an Umpqua signature tire and ties a lot of dope carp flies. But this is a technique I learned from him when you're using bead chain eyes. And you just do 2 lengths of lead or non-toxic metal wire, whatever you got, up here on top of the shank of the hook. I don't know if you guys are in focus or not. Yep, so I got my little kickstand in. And what that's doing, because if you think about it with the shank here, if you try to put bead chain on, which is what I'm going to do now, you're putting it like a round, there's a round shank. I'll show you. So I don't know if we'll be able to see this. If you can see here in between these 2 bead chains, yeah, there we go, is a round bar. So if you try to just tie that round bar on top of this round bar, it wants to spin around a lot. So by putting this little kickstand, these 2 metal bars, then it's sitting on top of that, and the bead chain eyes kind of just sit against it. It makes a nice platform to attach your eyes, and they don't roll as much. Just kind of making a nice platform for them to sit on. And then the whole thing spins. That's what you don't want. Should have put some super glue on it. I should have put some super glue on the thread in the very beginning. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. None of you guys saw that. What the hell? And of course my super glue cap is glued to itself. All right. This one I'm doing black as well, but this one's just, whoa, what up, K-Fish? It's been a while. Tying up some damselflies for either carp or trout. Gonna do some fishing tomorrow. Oh, the Bahamas video? I appreciate it. I'm assuming that's the video you're talking about. We had a good time down there. Pretty lucky to have friends that invite us to come stay at their place down there like that. It was pretty dope, I will say. I always kind of thought of the Bahamas as just a bonefish fishery too, but there's so much, and apparently like a lot of offshore fishing for tuna and all sorts of pelagics. Let's see, what do I want to do here? I think we're just doing wire and dub again, but I think I'm out of wire, so let's do, oh no, it's right there. Thanks, man. Honestly, I had to upgrade. My other one broke. The clamp on my old school Regal knockoff finally shit the bed, as they say. But I am really digging this Renzetti Traveler. It's a sweet upgrade. I've never tied on a rotary vise. Well, that's not true. I did tie on a rotary. I tied on this exact Renzetti Traveler vise before, and that's what made me know that's what I was going to upgrade to when I did finally upgrade to a rotary. And then when mine broke, oh dude, it's just all black. What did I just do with my dubbing? I like the purple. My buddy Lance has the purple one too. Anodized purple. I feel like we talked about this already, or maybe like talked about it before we got them. Or have you always had the purple one? I thought we did. Yeah, I actually just met the owner of Regal Vices, which that one that I had was like a knockoff Regal, and it looked just like I don't know what you might call it. Yeah, it looked just like a Regal, but I got it from Sportsman's Warehouse for $80, and it had that like jaw clamp style and everything. And it's not a true rotary, but I met the owner at the Denver Fly Show of Regal, and it was cool. He's a cool old guy, older guy. But I am a fan of, like, I don't know that I could go back to a non-rotary. It's a pretty, I guess, it's not that I use the rotary function that often, but I do like looking at my fly on a level plane when I do rotate it, just like looking at each side, but I don't like palmer stuff with it very often. But yeah, I don't want to go back. You're right. All right, let's finish this fly. I think I'm gonna do this one and maybe one or two more. And then I need to get some food in my belly. It's crazy with this time change. It's like already 8 and it just got pretty much just got dark here. Can't say I'm a huge fan of the time change. Make up your minds, you know? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I find helpful. I do like, very rarely do I move the cradle over and do a half hitch, but I should more often because it does make it easier. I think I'm just so used to tying on a non-rotary vise and manipulating materials around with my hands and really just having that control. But sometimes it just depends on what I'm tying to. If I'm using like brushes and just cranking out shrimp flies or something, I'll just hold that brush and bust them out. But anyways, there's another little damsel. This one is tied on just a carp hook. Do. Let's see. We're gonna stick with the carp hook, bead chain eyes. We're just gonna switch thread colors again and go back to the olive. Rob, you been getting out and fishing at all lately? Or just tying a lot? I can't remember. You're in Alaska? So maybe you're still ice fishing? I don't know. What you up to? Oh shit. Also, maybe I was wrong about you being in Alaska. That'd be funny if I just made that up. Yeah. Yeah, UK fish. I don't know why I was thinking you were in Alaska. You're in Washington State. It's pretty close, I guess. Closest state. There's no like winter or spring steelhead fishing or something. Let's see. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Thailand. I don't know that I'd go for a fishing trip. I would probably just go for like a relaxation trip and just chilling, eating food. I love Thai food, so I think I'd just go for the culture experience. I don't know if there's any fly fishing opportunities even there really worth pursuing. Maybe link it into another trip though. That's cool you went. I would love to. I'd love to go. It's been on the list for a while. I was supposed to go probably like 10 years ago and ended up having plans fall through, and yeah, just never tried to go back. Man, I feel like every time I tie with marabou, my nose starts itching. I've seen snakeheads. I didn't know that was there. This guy's got a super bushy tail. We're gonna lose about half of that. That's wild, dude. How big was this Komodo dragon? I mean, they can be pretty aggressive, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not messing with a 3-foot long lizard. That's crazy. Nice. I was wondering if that was who you were talking to. I appreciate that, Simple Sasquatch. Your dad does some like jig tying and stuff too, right? I feel like I've seen him in a video on your channel before. Nice. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh yeah, we want to do. I'm gonna do a dubbing loop here. I appreciate that donation, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I would love to. I don't know. You might have to lead the way. I think you're you're more technically inclined than me as far as like the how we would coordinate that, but I feel like it was you that also told me I needed to get back on the vertical. And I did that, and it definitely helped. I was getting a lot more interaction and followers or people watching my feeds. But I did just get a notification from YouTube recently that now you can stream both at the same time. I haven't tried it since getting this notification, but yeah, I might go back to that to where I can film it on the horizontal and it'll just crop out for the phones, I guess. That's, I'm assuming, what happens. But yeah, dude, let's set that up. Let me know when. I'm trying to do this more regularly, like once a week, we don't really have any trips planned. Like Pyramid in the Bahamas was really it for a while. Yeah, I haven't tried it out. I'm assuming I would just film it on my camera and it would do a horizontal and have like really good picture, and then for the people that are watching on phone, it would crop out the center. So I'm assuming I just have to make sure it's framed up correctly. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gotten to play with it yet. I just got a message from like the YouTube creator studio or whatever saying that I could do that. All right. Now, I might have got ahead of myself here. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. I might sit there nicely. We might need the cradle here. Yeah. I don't know what you're looking for, but just basic jigs I'm sure I could handle. Oh man, I don't have a background in it. Not really. I mean, I guess I made like skate videos and snowboard videos back in like middle school and high school days. But that's about it. But I do enjoy I enjoy the process of it. So I guess that helps when you like something. You can put a little more time. It's easier to put time into learning the craft. But I appreciate that, man. I feel like it's getting better and better too, the more I do it and the more I practice. Later, Simple Squatch. Rob's dad. I'm gonna have to go learn his name from your channel. I'm always like, I never know if I should call people by their handle or their name when I know their name. Like there's this other guy that he's been watching my videos or my lives. I'm surprised he hasn't popped on tonight. I was hoping he did because he actually sent me some dope little things he made. But I never know if I should call him by his name or by his handle. Let's see. I appreciate that. I try not to be long-winded. I don't want to sound like too poetic or whatever. I'm not trying to be all philosophical. I'm also not very smart, so I don't want to try to sound like I am. But yeah, we have fun with it, and the lighting and all that. Like I did like a photography class in high school, and so I know the idea of what you're looking for, and I think I've been kind of had that gift to what like looks good naturally to me. Anyways, I appreciate it. Brian, got it. Nice. Yeah, I know. When you joined the chat, I was like, "What up, K-Fish?" And then I called you Rob. That's probably confusing, but yeah. I like. I'm sure. I don't know if people called me Mopfly, I'd feel a little weird because Mopfly is me and Morgan, and so yeah, it would. I guess by my name, calling me by my name is cool, but I guess some people sometimes are like, "What up, Mopfly?" when I join their chats, so maybe they just don't know me by my name. But anyways, that's a good handful of flies. I'll show you guys real quick what I'm working with for tomorrow. Oh, whoa. Here, let's just get this out of the way. So we got a handful of olive, a couple browns, a couple blacks. I think Morgan and I can hopefully not lose all those tomorrow. But anyway, I think I am going to call it for the night. I appreciate y'all watching. Rob, thanks for stopping by. Definitely tell Brian again, thanks for the contribution, and let me know when you want to do some tying together, dude. Just send the invite or let me know what we need to do. You need an email? Did you what do you need? Hold on. Did I miss something? Okay, I got you. I'll hit you up. All right. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.